A beggar who goes from one person to the other person to beg for money is likely to make more money than a beggar who just sits at one place and open their arms. Those of you who like asking for advice on social media, especially if you're going through tough times and depression. Few weeks ago, I saw a post by one of our followers who also has his own page. He wrote about being depressed and about, I think, suicidal or something. And I wrote on my page, tagging him that he should contact me. I don't want to mention his name, but I think if he watches this video, he would understand that I'm talking about him. The next day, I deleted that post because while I slept that night, Wuta appeared to me and told me I shouldn't talk to him regarding that post I saw. And I asked Wuta, but why not? This could be serious. And Wuta told me it could be serious, but he is not serious. I'm like, Wuta, what do you mean? Wuta told me if he was really serious, he knows what to do. I'm like, Wuta, he posted on Facebook, that is him knowing what to do. Wuta told me no. If you are going through depression, social media is not going to help you. A lot of people would ask, but people are on social media. There are people who would reach out to that person. Understand that anybody can reach out to you regarding a particular matter. But when it comes to something very serious like depression, what do you think? People who are busy looking at different nyashis on Facebook, those are the ones that would come and advise you. And by the way, talking about advice, the advice you would see under that particular post about depression, you might think it's the right one. You might think it's the correct advice. It's very good for you and it's going to help you. But then some other person comes under that comment that you were advised and writes a different thing, and at the end of the day, you're confused. Which one should I take? This is why social media advice is very, very, deadly, very, very bad. If you're not, careful, you would end up following wrong advice, bad advice, advice that you think is the right thing. Whereas that same advice, if somebody DM'd you that advice, you see no other person to dispute that advice, so that if you thought it was right, you can go ahead with it. But on the comment section, if you think it's right, some other person would come and counter that advice. So Wuta told me if he was serious, he could go on Google. You see, the good thing about smartphones, at least somebody like me on my smartphone, before I get to Facebook, Google. I have always told you guys that Google is your friend. I have set up my apps on the phone that Google always stays on top, so that before I get to any other application on my phone, I must encounter Google. So before you went on Facebook to type about your depression, about your state of well-being that is not so great, why not go on Google and look for help and ask for help? You can go on Google and type, how can I, combat depression? How can I tackle depression? And brothers, sisters, you are going to see a lot of articles that even before you finish the first article, maybe the depression is already gone, because most of us are depressed because our minds are not working. Our brains are not working. When something is not working, other negative things come in. So before you finish reading one article about depression, you might even start feeling better. Why? Because at least as at that point, your mind is engaged in something. So when you are depressed and you go on social media to announce that you're depressed or you're feeling suicidal, it's likened to a man who is hungry. And instead of walking to the neighbors and asking, neighbor, I'm very hungry, please, do you have something to spare for me to eat? I haven't eaten for 3 days. Instead of doing that, you go on the street and start shouting, I am hungry, I am hungry, I'm hungry. Who will pay attention to you? Or even if somebody pays attention to you, they might end up using you. Okay? So if you go through these phases of life, rather than writing it on social media, because you will not get any true help on social media regarding these things. By the way, understand one thing. When you have a problem and you share your problem on social media, either people are going to feel sorry for you, feel bad for you, or people are going to, troll you, going to be using your problems to make trolls, to make fun of you. At the end of the day, the help you were looking for becomes worsened, because by the time you go to the comment section and see the way people are making fun of the problem that you so thought would receive help, it might even demoralize you the more. So go on Google. If you have a problem in any situation, in any sphere of life, in anything, especially depressed, go on Google. How can I fight depression? How can I tackle depression? What must I do? And you will find answers and sources without anyone interfering, with whatever article you find. Then above all, please look for professional help. Even on that same Google, you can type, where can I get help to tackle depression? And you will see answers rather than writing on social media. Again, does it mean we shouldn't share our problems on social media? Of course, if you're looking for sympathy, if you're looking for pity parties, if you're looking for, people to say, oh, sorry, it's going to be okay, don't worry, God is your strength. If you're looking for that, of course. But on the other hand, does it mean that people do not receive help on social media? They receive. But again, how many compared to those who haven't received? If you want to receive direct help, then you should always make Google your friend. For example, that brother that wrote on his page about the situation I'm talking about, if he contacted me personally, because yes, there are a lot of our followers that contact me on DM personally, not even to talk about money, but to ask about advice, that you're going through certain things. Please, boss, can you advise me? There are people like that. Some of you do it. So if this guy came to my DM, yes, that's something else. Of course, I'll give him all the attention and I'll know it is serious. Just like Wuta told me, it might be serious, but he himself is not serious. So if you're serious about whatever you're going through, especially depression, brothers and sisters, please, there are help not on social media. Google is online. So there are help online, but not on social media. Social media will not really help you much because, well, that professional who is expert in handling depression cases is not going to be on social media all the time. In fact, serious-minded people that would help you in your time of need would not always be on social media. They might go on social media once in a while, check what's going on there, and breeze. A doctor will not spend all his time on social media. So if these cases, if you're sick and you need a doctor, instead of going to the hospital, you come on social media to write, I have malaria, I have typhoid, I'm sick, come on. Where do you want to get the help from? From your followers, from commenters, even that your follower who is a doctor might not be on social media at that point in time that you're sick. Why? Because he's busy saving lives. So if you're depressed, once again, social media will not help you. It will only elaborate the problem. It might go viral, but where is the help coming from? It only will come from if you do the right thing by asking your questions at the right places. And in this case, we're talking about Google, because to summarize and to round up with this, it's just like, beggars. A beggar who goes from one person to the other person to beg for money is likely to make more money than a beggar who just sits at one place and open their arms. Because that is exactly what most of us are doing. Instead of going from one place to the other looking for help, we come on social media, open our arms. Please help me. I am depressed. I feel suicidal. Where would the help come from? It's your boy, the crackhead. When I tell you these things, do not think it's a crackhead talking. Please take them seriously, because at the end of the day, they say, out of a multitude of words, at least there's some element of truth. Take your life seriously. And if you're going through depression, there are so many places you can find help, but social media. Have a wonderful Friday. Bye.